Good morning, beautiful people, chosen ones, vagabonds in power, Sigma empath, snow leopards. Did I forget anyone? Let me know in the comments. I'll close the window real quick. So, today we will talk about the bizarre world of narcissists. And I will compare this world, this extreme bizarre world, to the opposite or another extreme, and in lack of another name I will call it the world of the Sigma empath, which I consider, what is a normal person. There is not such thing like a normal individual. An individual person is not normal, it is individual. So just take it this way. One of the most important things to understand a person in communication is the will to understand. So if you want to understand, you will know what I mean by this. So we're talking about the bizarre world and life of the narcissist. First, you need to understand that a narcissist that is isolated is almost a collapsed narcissist. A narcissist that lives alone and isolated cannot live. He will suffer severely, and he will collapse, most likely. And while on the other hand, a Sigma empath in isolation will thrive and can get very strong and find abundance in this. So here we see this strong difference. It could not be more different, and this goes through all aspects that we will go through. I can give you some examples for these people that I mean with Sigma empath, and they thrive in isolation, while narcissists would collapse and probably get covert narcissists or get suicidal, depressive, and whatnot. These examples are, as always, Miyamoto Musashi. We can also say Bruce Lee and Friedrich Nietzsche. We could say Nikola Tesla, but there are countless of more persons who needed long periods of isolation and being alone in order to recharge, in order to develop their ideas, to find their purpose. And this tells us these people cannot be narcissists. They cannot have this personality disorder, post-traumatic condition. Otherwise, they would have been destroyed by these events in their life that they're actually looking for. So, for narcissists, the life they live and the world they create is a defensive mechanism that is aimed to protect the shared fantasy. So what I'm talking about is narcissists in a relationship, because this is the only way they create that world and life around them. Otherwise, again, they are collapsed like a doormat, nothing there, really nothing there. But if they are in a relationship, they have an intimate partner, a victim, whatever, something to extract narcissistic supply from, then this is what we talking about today, this world, this environment, and the psyche behind that. As we know, creation of world always begins in the psyche or is interconnected. So this is also why the huge difference from the inside is mirrored in the outside. So this is why an empath that is not waken up, has not the information to understand what a narcissist is, will be vulnerable for abuse, because he will think that the person he is in relationship with is something similar to him. But the truth is that the difference could not be greater. It is not the same. And this is also why a gaslighting tactic often works, or a strategy of the narcissists is to insist on equality or comparing themselves and saying, you have another point of view of the truth and I have another point of view of the truth, in situations where there is actually a point of view of the truth on the one side, and on the other side it's a clearly a lie. But all right, so for them, life and the world they live in is a defensive mechanism that is aimed to protect the shared fantasy. And the shared fantasy, I will soon explain what exactly the shared fantasy is. So what they do is they project a shadow frame that is created by the fear to face reality. So they have a fear within themselves to be created with harsh and cold reality, and driven by this fear, also the fear of themselves actually being confronted, seeing the true picture of what they are and who they are, they project this fear. And this shadow frame then gets textured and serves as a camouflage and protection from the outer world. And this is not like in a cult, this is a cult, because only members will be accepted and they have to accept the shared fantasy as well. They are not allowed to question or doubt it, and anyone who insists on his complete own desires and individuality and on his private sphere will be gaslighted, manipulated, and attacked. And if this person does not give in, it will be threatened, expelled, and finally discarded. It will not be allowed to enter the cult. But what is this shared fantasy exactly? The shared fantasy is a constant effort of the narcissist to idealize the intimate partner in order to feel entitled and special oneself, because of having such a perfect idealized partner. So what the narcissist does, he looks at his partner and makes a snapshot of him. He then photoshops this picture. He idealizes the person. He is so perfect. She is the best woman ever, and in all ways. And this is also where the love bombing comes from, because this is how the relationship starts and how the narcissist gets into the life of other persons. They let them taste the idealization that they do, and they do this in order to feel special themselves, because if they have such a perfect partner, they must be special too. And they cannot really love themselves. They only create this false image of themselves that they actually try to love, and they do it by idealizing the partner. And if they have such a perfect partner, they can that also validates their self-image, and by this they can believe all this fantastic construction. This is the shared fantasy. It's very complicated. In some way, it's twisted, because you might, if you're not a narcissist, or even if you are a narcissist, you might not admit this to yourself, because otherwise you might collapse. But if you're not a narcissist, if you are let's say you are a Sigma empath, then this is like alien to you. You will, it's not, this is why the world is bizarre, and also can be fascinating to study this, but it's also scary and sad in some way. Okay. Yeah, so the world and the family unit the narcissists live in is a surface. It is rather two-dimensional. Like they build this outer facade than a 3D world, rather than 3D, because 3 dimensions would mean there is this content. It's rather hollow. It's not created as content or to contain content. Of course, it contains something, but an empath will, on the other hand, create his life completely different. It will be primarily content that he creates, that he lives, that he is aiming for, that he is thriving for, that he is going for. And the content will then passively and as a side effect create a surface, but it's not aimed to create this surface. Okay. So then today, when I was thinking about making this video and about this topic, I created a saying or a question. How do you spot a good liar? You don't. And this idea comes from the fact that some narcissists are real masters of lying, and they learn in a skillful way to mix facts with fiction. And they exactly know where they have to weave in the facts and where it is okay to use fiction as a glue to connect different things to get out the certain desired narration that they need to get their goals. And the reason why these people can lie so good, and they can't even, some of them to do it unconsciously, is because they are completely conditioned to that by their parents. When they were a child, where also the trauma lies, why they have become narcissists, it could be the reason that they have been put into the role of the golden child. If the golden child was put on a pedestal by the parents, or the pedestal was put on the child, so the parents used the child to get validation, to get gratification, and the child learned that it does not get unconditional love, but it gets attention and love whenever it performs, whenever it does what the parents want it to do. And as such, the child learned to lie. And if this becomes a survival strategy, you either starve and die, or you get very good at it. So this is how the brain was trained lifelong, and so it naturally comes to a certain mastery of this. The roles in this family model of narcissistic family that I'm talking about with golden child, it says that there are distinct roles that narcissistic parents give their child, and it's either golden child, invisible child, or scapegoat. And we will make another video about the dangers for children with narcissistic parents soon. So, we have now learned about the bizarre world of narcissistic family units or narcissistic relationship units. They are comparable, more than comparable, to cults. It's like a cult. And when you enter these places, when you enter a family unit, a household that is led by at least one narcissist, but it could be codependent narcissists too, then you enter a cult, and the more knowledge you have about this, the more you will immediately see the structures, see through it, and not be fooled, but you can only see through it and discern this if you prepare yourself mentally. Before you enter, you need to put up boundaries to not get gaslighted. Let me put it a different way. Let's say you go in without knowing anything. You are an empath, you're not a narcissist, and you have no knowledge about this, and you're not prepared. You just go in and say, hey, I just go in this family unit. Then what you will encounter is confusion, but your brain tends to skip on this in order to keep your conscious flow normal, so you don't want to stumble or be confused. So you just get certain small. This is where the lies are, or the glue is, or the strange things are. But in the right places, in all the right places, there is some fact, some truth, some surface, some polish, some picture, and this prevents you from seeing through it all. Yes. So, but you will be sometimes wondering, but it will always be under this threshold to really trigger you, because it's designed to protect. It is designed to not be uncovered, and but again, the world of narcissists is about things you can count, you can make a picture of when you make a photo. It's about these superficial things. It's calculated. Yeah. And this is also why it might be very clean and make a perfect image, and everybody is suddenly nice. But I tell you, as soon as you leave the door, as soon as the spotlight is gone, the camera is gone, these people go offline. You know, the empathy, the energy, the vibrant, the bliss goes away. And this is what I will tell you in the next video. They will be loving parents. They will be having the kids there. Everything will be nice. And then the spotlight is gone. They go offline. They grey rock their own children. I'm tired. Who are you? Who are you? Who even are you now? You know, I'm not reacting to you anymore. And yeah, but this is what you not see. This is what you not see when you enter. But you can feel it. You can probably feel this. And this is very hard to take for the kids, of course. Anyway, if you enter the household, the family unit of a Sigma empath, of a family of empathic people, a healthy family, you will find everywhere places of or small little things that are not in the foreground. They don't try to create an image. They actually hide the best things. Like, you go somewhere around the corner, you're not supposed to be there, and you find something so beautiful, so full of love, full of bliss. It's everywhere. It oozes truth. It oozes love in every corner, you know? And yeah, it might be, you know, it might be not the perfect surface. There might be some dirt here or there. But I tell you, there is no dead people in the cellar, okay? These people will not go offline when you're gone. These people just living, they might be offline when you come. They might not want to create that image of perfection. This is the real world, people. Okay? Don't be fooled. You know? It's here. It's here, man. Okay? It's not only here. No. It's here, you know. Okay. I wish you a very nice week, a very nice day, and I wish you very good discernment. I hope you can free your mind. I hope you can emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. Okay? One love.